be talking about some of the common objections we get with corn and our performance-driven fungicides.
Okay, so my number one question I get typically, and we may not see this in 2024, but what happens if I get to full tassel and there's no disease there? Really, is it time to spray or should I wait?
That's a great question, and we get that all the time. And I think the thing to remember here is that the time that stress occurs at the corn plant is going to be the beginning of reproductive, and that happens at tassel. So we want to protect that plant from stress. That may be disease, or it could be environmental stresses or fertility stresses, those type of things. Anything else that could be stressing that plant can happen at that time. And so using some of the plant health benefits that can happen with our performance-driven fungicides, that enables us to really time that and stay with that timing of tassel. Because if we get away from that, we notice that our overall responses drop off to us. That's definitely always been the peak of it. And so with or without disease, our recommendation for corn and Veltima is still going to be at that tassel R1 stage to give us the highest possible return.
And to kind of build on that too, when we talk about residual these fungicides, which I think is a huge benefit to performance-driven fungicides, how does that play into that same question?
So residual-wise, I think the thing is like with Veltima, we know that we get more residual out of that product. So even though we're applying it at VT with no disease, we know it gives us that protection for the longest possible window there. So again, keeping that reproductive period stress-free is going to be crucial. So I think that's the great thing about these products that we talk about, Veltima or Revitec, is their length of residual, and really opens that window up for us.
I agree. Okay, question number 2. This year, I think we're seeing a lot of this, but we get planting dates that typically get strung out from year to year. We've always thought that our earliest planted corn is typically our highest yielding. What would you do on a late planted cornfield with potentially a little bit lower yield potential?
I think that's one of the things, the common thought is, hey, it's not going to be as good a corn, I'm going to just not do that. I think sometimes that's the stuff you need to work at managing a little bit more anyway, and you can see some benefit from it too. We know that late planting corn may also be more susceptible to disease pressure too, is when it's coming in, depending on the timing and everything else. So to me, I'm targeting that late planting corn, unless there's some other reason other than just the time of planting, then I'm going to target that as well for a fungicide application. I'm going to still stick to my tassel R1 time frame that I'm looking for that. That may be 2 weeks after I'm done with my other fields, but I think it's an important piece, and it's a valuable piece, and sometimes you can see sometimes almost a bigger response to that late planted stuff comparatively to the untreated than what you would with some of the earlier planted.
Fair enough. Okay, I think the third one I get a lot is, I've tried fungicide before. I just wasn't all that happy with the results. What would you say to somebody that maybe has tried fungicide in the corn before and has that objection?
This may be something that requires kind of some more questions to get to the bottom of this, where you want to know some more about the guy that did this. Like, what did he try before? What was his timing? Those type of things that he did. Or did we have everything lined up that we should before we just know that there wasn't any response? So I think it's important to keep that in mind. Is like, what was it? And then if it's been a period of time, if it's been 5 years since I tried fungicide, then I think it's important you come back and look at some of the newer AIs and those type of things like that to test that out too and have that. And so to me, it's usually like get back in there and try it, and then try it maybe, not just one field split, but maybe I split several fields so I have something to compare it to in case something goofy happens in one field or the other type of thing. And so I think it's try it in multiple areas from that. And usually you'll find your local applicators are willing to work with you. If you haven't tried it and you want to get back into the game, they're going to work with you to split some fields or whatever.
Thanks for watching. Join us again for future episodes on performance-driven fungicides.